Hello, I'm here, I'm back. I know it's been a little while since I have been here creating anything or chatting with you, and my number one intention of this video is to let you know that yes, I am still here and I plan to be back more. If you have been here before, welcome back. Thank you for being here. I know it's just been so long. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Amy. I have had so many changes still, and as you know in some of my last videos, I've been in this very interesting transitional season of life. I feel like I'm still very much in that. I can't tell you why I was not here. It felt like there were so many changes happening that it was hard to feel connected and feel like I really had much to say about anything. I spent 2 months in North Carolina, mostly because I could. I went down there with my dog, and I had previously visited Asheville and loved it, but went down to spend a couple months there again just to enjoy it, see if it's a place I maybe wanted to be a little more indefinitely. And unfortunately, the place I had booked to stay for the 2 months had some pretty serious issues with it, and I ended up relocating because of it, which I've never done before in a rental like that or Airbnb, and ended up in a completely different city. And so it was everything I just didn't think it was going to be. It was a very quiet, internal, introspective, kind of isolating experience, to be honest. It put some things into perspective, and I'm grateful for that. One of the things was, in that experience, feeling like I didn't have a place that I could just go back to that was mine felt very unsettling. This is significant because for so long I did think that I was just going to hit the road and be a little bit nomadic, but it turns out that that does not feel as good as I thought it would, especially with so many unknowns going on right now, not just on a personal level, but on a much bigger level. That was really good for me to know. And then I spent August traveling. I had something every single weekend. So I was back up in Michigan near family so that I had care for my dog while I was gone doing all of these things and still working. So I'm still in a moment of figuring out what I'm going to do. I really want to buy a house as well. That's always been on the table, and with my experience, that's something I'm considering more. I've even put in a couple offers, but don't have a house yet. So home design and DIY and projects and updates and turning a space into a home is one of my biggest passions. I've really needed this time to let the dust settle and see where I'm at. What do I want to focus on? Because as much as I have so many creative endeavors and desires to experience in life, I also know that I don't want to dilute all of them. I want to be a little more focused on one thing or a few things. So buying a home is a lot more of my focus now, especially because I am employed. I'm in a moment where I can make it happen. I can do it, especially alone. That's a really big deal for me, and just like my history and how I was raised. So being able to buy a house on my own feels like such a significant accomplishment. Another thing I've needed to reflect on a little bit is just this idea of this pressure of algorithms and social media, and that we're supposed to only talk about one thing. That just is not who I am. And yes, I can talk about a few main things, but I don't want to only talk about one topic, because that's just not who I am. I really want this to be a space where we're here connecting because we vibe, you know, we have the same energy and have similar interests, or maybe what I share inspires you, or, you know, whatever it is. I just am not one of those people who can only talk about buying a house forever or traveling in an RV forever or something like that. I want this to be much more about me living my life, sharing the things that I might know a lot about, and also coming to you for the things I don't know very much about, and also being vulnerable and open and honest about that. I do want to share more about the experience of buying a home, also because personal finance is one of my greatest passions. I feel like home ownership falls within that, and everything I've learned. It's pretty incredible the things that you learn when you do this, especially someone like me who really looks at all of the details and learns so much about this. And I want to know what I'm spending on everything. What do all those closing costs look like? What is included in that? Where a lot of people will just sign on that, or they don't know, or they're intimidated by it. So I want to be able to come here and share that with you. I want to share about if I'm traveling and talk more about money and finance and investing, but I don't want it to just be a money channel. My first channel actually started that way and it was great, but I had times where I'm like, I don't know what to talk about now. So I want to be able to let this be a little more vlog style, a little more casual and laid back, be able to just come on here and be really real with you. Like we're sitting down having coffee, we're friends, I'm sharing with you. When you have questions, ask them. I want to be able to create more outside of YouTube when it comes to personal finance as well. I've started a few websites, I've created some courses, but a big focus for me right now as well in this reflection is continuing to show up to just a few things that I'm passionate about consistently and creating them in a way where when I have weeks that I feel totally disconnected from those things, because we all do, whether you want to call it burnout, sometimes I'm not as inspired. And as an introvert, sometimes I don't have a whole lot to say. So I want to create things outside of here and some courses specifically about money where they are sustainable no matter what. No matter what's going on with me personally. The other thing I want to talk about and share about are all the things that I end up doing once I own my home and design and DIY projects, because again, that's one of my passions. So I kind of want to just like lighten up in a sense and allow those ideas to kind of just fall to the wayside of how I'm supposed to show up and with these very rigid kind of structures and timelines. And I might not post every week at first. I might not post on the same day. I also want to come and create videos, and sometimes they're talking videos like this, and sometimes they're much more creative with beautiful backgrounds and voiceovers and things like that, because I love doing that. But I don't want to put pressure on myself that it always has to be one way. That doesn't feel good, and then it doesn't feel as authentic. And that is a very big part of all of this. Another thing about this channel is that I want to acknowledge that there is so much going on everywhere right now. I live in America. There's a lot going on here, but I know there's a lot going on in a lot of other countries too, and how we interact with other countries. I am also Canadian. I'm very aware and I'm paying attention to all of it, which is another reason why I felt like it feels so out of touch to come on here and talk about buying a home or things like that. Also, I definitely question that decision a lot of days, but at the same time, I want to create a space that I also need sometimes. I need a place where I don't have to think about things going on that feel really overwhelming. I want to maintain some kind of grounded feeling and normalcy of just the fact that life continues on in spite of total chaos around us. Please know that not talking about specific things that are really charged topics is not because I'm ignoring it. It's because I want this to be a space where we get to take a deep breath and tune in to this moment, to what's in front of us, to being present, and to remembering that no matter how great or terrible things feel, that we're still here with ourselves, you know, in this moment, being present, having to live and go on in spite of all of these other things. So it feels really good to be back here and talking with you. I'm so glad I just turned the camera on and did it in spite of this mess behind me. These are the things that I'm just trying to be like, you know what, everything's okay for now, because this is going to evolve. My videos, my background, all of it's going to evolve. And I'm so excited about that. And this has been absolutely my favorite creative outlet for the last couple years. I'm very glad I honored what I needed for the last few months. But at the same time, this connection, even though I know this is a video, but these connections, connecting with other people is so important and so significant. I think it's so good for our mental health. I think it's so good to normalize different things, to feel inspired, to see other people being creative, whatever it is. I just feel so grateful for that and this community. I think that's all I've got for now. But I look forward to connecting with you again soon. I would love to hear from you in the comments. How are you? What's going on? Is there anything specific you want to talk about? Any questions you have of what I've just shared and where I've been, what's going on? I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.